This is like, is this on? This is like old home week. I was in Channel 13 for the first time in about 10 years last week, so it was great to be there. It does look the same, and it felt like being at home, which was nice. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry. That was a little inside Channel 13 there. I apologize. And we do have more fun than Channel 4, absolutely. So there's another tidbit of information. Acting Commissioner Delaney, thank you. I appreciate it. The opportunity to talk about employment, the opportunity to be here to talk about employment. This is so very important and very personal to me. I was blessed to work at News Channel 13, blessed to work at WMHT and a station in Syracuse before that. And my employment was the very building block on my greater life. And it's important to talk about that because that is important and why we're all here. Wilma, you talk about working with children in high school. You're creating a wonderful example in that work that you're doing at times because you're going to teach them that it's okay to have differences in the community and active, and that you're powerful in the work that you're doing, and that's a wonderful thing. Keep going. And Michelle, you're a rock star in the disability community, so I'm happy to share the floor with you. But I have to tell you, what you're saying about politics is so very important. A lot of times we don't think about disability, people with disabilities and their whole circle of life, but it does not only include work, but it also includes home, it also includes volunteerism, it also includes activism. And a lot of times we've been not involved in those things, and what you've heard today is so very important because our circle of our life is so much more than just what you might see on the outside. You know, my circle of life is the organization that I run, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, but it's my wife and it's my kids, and it's the time I spent in the community and the time I spent in my former employers. And it's no different than anybody with a disability that I've ever met. Work is a vehicle to have all those other things, but it is the vehicle. And when you meet people that are employed, those of us with disabilities, you see the smiles on our faces for the opportunity, you see the loyalty, the longevity, and you see now the activism and the community involvement. And that's what we need to celebrate. We, with our ability, you know, we're two people strong, 2.5 people strong. That's a size joke on my part. I realize. I apologize. We're 2.5 people strong. You know, we have a lot of work to do. We have been blessed to be working with businesses around the state, like Price Chopper Market 32, who have taken this mission on and made it their own, and we are so proud of that. But they've also, just to toot their horn a little bit, they have not stopped there. Not only are we opening this up to other markets and other states, but they're opening this up to other businesses. They allowed me to invite in CVS Pharmacy into one of their organizations to see what they're doing. We're taking this out to M&T Bank across the state. We're speaking today to Key Bank. So there's a lot of organizations that we're working with just because of the great work that they're doing. And what we're doing is we're hopefully being the Pied Pipers for businesses. The governor has said that there should be 100 businesses that stand up and shout out that they're willing to employ people with disabilities across the state. And we're trying to lead that effort and sign on businesses, work with them about how best for those businesses specifically to employ our community. And we lead with some very important facts. Yes, we lead that there's an opportunity for a business and that the unemployment rate is so high for people with disabilities. But then turning that around, that people with disabilities will stay in their positions 7 times longer than an able-bodied person. We'll call in sick less, which means that's more money in the pocket to the business because there's less hiring costs. And that's a big deal to a business, to a bottom line. It makes a big difference to Price Chopper's bottom line if they don't have to retrain people. And so that's the thing we lead with when we talk with businesses. And the other thing that's really important, and that's this, that there's a business case to hiring people with disabilities if you're a business. And that is, people with disabilities and their families in this country alone, even though the unemployment rate is 70% for people with disabilities, People with disabilities and their families have buying power in this country alone of $1 trillion. We're the number one diversity category in buying power in this country, but we never talk about it. And imagine if the unemployment rate for people with disabilities went below 70% to even down to the high number of 60 or 50. What would that $1 trillion do? And then consider that consumers are 92% more likely, that's a huge number, 92% more likely to work with an organization that hires people with disabilities. They will shop at Price Chopper, they will bank at Oneida because of the work that we do. And they can garner some of that $1 trillion. So there's a buying power here, and there's a marketing position, and that's what we do. So you're doing great work, we're doing great work in this room. We're employing people with disabilities and talking about employing people with disabilities, but I'm also challenging you that we're a lot stronger than just the people in this room. That all of you know 2 other businesses. All of you know 5 other neighbors in your community. All of you know other people. I challenge you to think outside of your box for a second and talk to 5 more people and suggest that they consider hiring a loyal, dedicated, hardworking individual, and that it will be better for their business. We're proud to lead that at our ability in the New York Business Leadership Network. We thank you for the opportunity to speak. And Benita, it's wonderful to see you. Thank you.
I follow you, you know. You're the rock star.